Hi, Victoria Shakoor here. I hope your family and yourself is doing well on this rise. Thank you for joining me. Okay, I'm back, like I said, with another video about a download that came to me a little while back. And I don't have the full, a lot of time these downloads come and I share it with you guys. And a lot of times I do get it 100%. And sometimes I don't get all of it. It's still manifesting, and maybe somebody else may come along sometimes and add to what I'm sharing with you guys, and then something in me will click, because we're all here to help each other um, activate the DNA within us that unlocks the knowledge that we have within us and also unlock our superpowers. Okay, and so one of my superpowers is that I'm clairsentient, which means I just know. Excuse me. And I'm also a number 9. And I was putting that together the other day, the numbers. And I'm not into gematria or anything like that. I'm not a tarot reader or anything like that. It's just that things, I have experiences, and divine source, mother and father, will download information to me, and then sometimes I sit with it and meditate on it to really get clarity on it, and they will impart more understanding for me. And then there are times when I just share it. I get it right away and I just share it, Um, and sometimes a lot of the messages be just for me personally, you know. So if I'm nudged to pull the oracle cards, I don't know, some of you have seen my other videos when I introduced these cards, and it was because these cards were calling out to me. I went into this particular store to get some candles and some incense, and these cards was just, it was like just calling me, and I was like, oh, what is these cards? And every time I went in that area, or I was pulled over to that area where the cards were, and I was like, well, let me get these cards and see what it's about. And these cards have been just so powerful in my life. The messages that because I was using them for me personally, and whenever I was told to shuffle the cards and receive the message. It's a communication, another form of communication between me and divine source, mother and father. And guys, the messages be so on point and so like exactly what I needed to hear. And some of it I meditate, and then there's a healing process at the end of the explanations of the card. And I know why the card was pulling to me, because I have been connecting with my Aboriginal ancestors, finding out who exactly I am in the physical form and my lineage in this form. Um, so yeah. So anyway, let me get to this. And all of my information will be at the bottom of the video, so you can go, you can do you can attend my free 1-hour webinar that I have on the website. You can choose a date and time that's best for you, and all the other things are there. All my social media and all that is right there. So please like this video and share it if it nudges you to. Some of these messages may seem very simple, but they're very profound. And so when you watch it again, it may click at that time. All my messages unlock DNA codes, and one of my superpowers is those who work with me. I'm able to go into that field that I was shown in this particular dream or recording that I talked about on a previous video, and meet you there with your permission, and release those blockages and traumas and fears and anything like that that you have that's been holding you back in life. So that's my superpower. All right, so this download that came to me was I was meditating on things that I'm teaching and things that I've taught in the past. All the way up, I was kind of reflecting back on how I was helping people unofficially at that time, not knowing what my gifts were. And I was being carried back to things that I was doing and experience and what we would call as supernatural experiences that I had in the past. At that time, I didn't know anything about um, any of this stuff. I knew a little bit, but not a lot. I was just kind of like starting my journey or just waking up, right? And I was having these experiences. Anyway, so I'm thinking about this, um, and it came to me that once upon a time in antiquity, the things that I'm teaching, people would go to what they called universe cities to learn about the universe and our connection with it. And I thought, wow, universe cities. Okay, so universe cities. And they would learn about astronomy and how we are all star children. Those of us that are organic human beings, star children, and how connecting in that field that I take people to, called your superconscious, which no one talks about, because you have a conscious and you have an unconscious and you have a superconscious mind, and how to start to utilize that to manifest the life that you desire, and how to stay pretty much in that consciousness while simultaneously also being aware of your physical self, because your physical self is just as important. You came here to experimenting with what you already know. I say that all the time. You came here to experience experimenting with what you already know. In doing that, you had to be in a physical form and you had to be in a duality so that you can differentiate, so that you can judge, okay? My eye is watering. So that you can judge or make a differentiality between things, and also become aware of your perspective, okay? So as I'm thinking about this universe city, so I'm like, okay, and I'm doing a meditation, and it dawned, I was like, oh, university, universe city. So I said, well, let me do as much research as I can. I'm not the best researcher, so maybe some of y'all that listen to this will go deeper in the research. But what I came across was I couldn't find any universities like in antiquity. Oh, and then I also was doing this particular research. I can't remember like I can't remember what I was reading because it was so much, right? But it was said that, Lahershua, those that we call Jesus, Lahershua, during those missing years that we don't have, he was at a university studying all the things he was studying, because we know that what he was teaching was how to activate your God brain, that God part of your brain, which is your superconscious. So, and I'm not saying that I'm like a master or anything like that, but however, it's what I've been led and it's what I've been led to teach. It's what I've been led to know. And I don't know everything yet, but I know enough to where I've been helping a lot of people, okay? And myself included. So as I'm doing the research, and I was like, well, let me, research universities, right? Universities. And I came across this, it was called the Oxford University. And it was like, this was back in like 18 something or something like that. And if you can see this, look at this. Can you see that? Doesn't that look like a city? Look at this. This is a university. Oxford University, look. I don't know how close I can put it, but look at this. It looks like a city. It has something like 2,500. I should have wrote that on the side of it, the notes. And it has something like 2,500 professors. And at that time, you were called at that time when they were going to these universities, you were called an apprentice. And an apprentice was a person that's actually doing the work, so that they're learning whatever it is they need to learn, as well as practicing it as well. So it was an apprentice. They weren't called students at that time. And then so I had to look up what's the difference between apprentice and a student. So yeah, it just goes to show you, like, doing these videos, it's not just coming on here talking. It's like literally doing some research so that when we share with you guys, it's cohesive to the best that we can do, right? So a student is a person that's learning information, but they're not actually doing anything. They're not actually doing what they're learning. That's the difference. So an apprentice is actually doing what they're learning. They're learning a certain skills or information or something, and then and doing it, practicing it. That's apprenticeship. A student is a person that's just gathering information. They're just learning information, but they're not actually doing it. Okay? So during these universities, you had to, what was downloaded is that you had to practice what it is that you were learning. I forget what the teacher was called. As I'm talking, I'm attempting to remember, because you were called an apprentice. I don't know why sensei is coming, but it's not. I forget what the instructor was called, but anyway, we'll just say instructor for now. So I gotta look up sensei, because sensei that's what's keep coming, sensei. But sensei, I'm thinking is martial arts. Somebody correct me. But anyway, if I'm not right on that, or it could be the same. So you're learning about your conscious, your unconscious, and your superconscious. You're learning about the universe and how you are connected with the universe, and how to manifest whatever it is that you want using your connection to the universe, being aware, and accessing your God brain. Isn't that something? Over time. Oh, also, I was shown also that everything is mathematics. And so it's numbers, working with numbers and mathematics and things like that. So there was an equation. There's an equation for everything. At the universities, you learn that, and you learn how to access that superpower. All information is within our DNA. And a lot of the scientists call it junk DNA, but it's not junk DNA. And right now, during this time, they're calling it the Great Awakening. It's because that Junk DNA is becoming activated. And it's the sun is one that's activating a lot of this, is the sun. And the other one is people like me. And the other one is divine source, mother and father. Because it's time. It's time. So over time, it was changed to, instead of universe cities, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. And they had like 2,500 instructors. It housed something like, you guys look this up too, because I'm going off memory. Well, it has something like 35,000 students. That's a city. Or 56, either 35 or 56, one of the two. I remember reading up on it. Apprentices. That's a city. It has shops, restaurants, you know, you had a place to eat. You lived there, so that was housing, right? Shops, everything you needed was there. Employment, you got paid. Everything. Everything that, well, almost everything that encompasses a city. And that was so profound and so interesting to me. Universe cities was just like that. It had everything for the apprentice. And it was a city. It was a literal city. And it was called Universe City. So that metamorphed into universities. And then what happened was they metamorphed it into universities and then separated and said cities. And then within those cities is a university. Now, they still kept the name Youniverse. But when you go to a university, are they teaching you anything about how to access your God power? How to manifest what you want? About your conscious, unconscious, and superconscious consciousness? From what I know, you're learning, basically, bottom line, is a skill on how to go work for somebody. That's what you learn in universities. Some of those skills you can take it further and work for yourself. And I would say, in my opinion, those are the skills that I would go for. So you're never dependent on someone else. So, okay. Are we pulling the cards? All right, so I'm nudged to pull these cards. And see what the message is for all of us today before I wrap this up. But I was nudged to share this with you guys because it's so interesting how things are now and where they actually came from and how it metamorphed into what it is right now. You know, some people say, history smishery, you know, we don't need to know his story. But our story is fascinating. It's fascinating. It really is. And it helps us to say, oh, okay, so this is why, so that we don't repeat our mistakes, right? So we don't repeat our mistakes. And also, so that we know who we truly are. People who look like me, that's been erased. It's been erased. And we're walking around here latching on to everybody else, still having a problem with who we are, an identity that's tied to a land. And all you got to do is ask the elder people in your family, and they'll tell you who you are, the most elderliest person, and then start your lineage research, and you'll find out if your family came off a boat or if they were already here. And if they were already here, then you know you are tied to a land. And if they came off a boat, then you know you are tied to a land. No longer are you just a wandering people, wandering in the wilderness, not knowing who you are. All right. So let's see what card pops out. Ooh. This one popped out right away. There's two of them that popped out. There was two that popped out. All right. I'm asking which one is it? Okay, so I'm getting this one is Mama Quilla. You see that? I don't want it to be too blurred for you. Mama Quilla. Let me put my glasses on. Mandala of the Moon is what that says. Mandala of the Moon. All right, so let's read what that is. What is the message for us today? I, the lunar mother, bring you my mandala of the moon to manifest through the law of magnetic attraction. My mandala is the sacred portal through which your dreams, intentions, and visions shall pass into the wholeness of being, from the realm of inspiration into the world of form on earth. Does that not? Well, I talked about my dream in the previous video, but this was a download that came about that. There is no need for doubt or concern, for even the appearance of delay signifies that the divine feminine mystery is at work, with timing unfolding according to a higher loving wisdom. Trust that a falling away is meant to be. Have faith in new divine works being born. So this oracle brings a sign that creative works will reach fulfillment. Relax with trust and positive expectation that all your needs will be met. This makes it easier for abundance to flow and for all earthly and spiritual matters to fall into place according to great and loving higher intelligence. Things are changing, even if you cannot see the physical evidence of this as yet. Trust that your actions are leading you into a better way of life. Rely on the universe, and you shall see how all things come together according to a timing and higher order that suits you in ways even better than you could have imagined yourself. So that's the message today. And to just, just trust. Trust your intuition. Those of you that are waking up, trust that things are falling into place for you. You are on the right track. What I'm getting from this is just to trust in yourself, trust in your intuition. Do your meditations. When you receive a message through your dream, okay, that is letting you know that's a portal. Your dreams is a portal as well. So that is a portal, all right, for your vision. I did a video previously about a dream that I had, so it's just something that this message comes through as I pull the card on this. I probably was supposed to pull the cards on the last video because I just did it like before I did this one. I did that one. All right. So there were two that fell out. I don't know if I should read the other one. So it says, do not give up. This one is Alakoa, Spirit of the Warrior. So you can take whichever one of these will resonate with you the most. But these were the two that fell out right away. You notice that? Both of them fell out. So I'll read them both. It says, do not give up. If you feel hopeless, despair, defeat, or frustration, and you wonder if it is really worth it, place your mind in your heart and your heart in awareness of what it is that is inspiring you. Do you feel alone on your quest? Look for the legions of beings in spirit and upon the earth that fights alongside you, fearless and ferocious with love. Look at what's going on in our world right now. You know, remember, perception is everything. 95% is perception, and the other 5% is perception, right? So we know what's going on, but we don't have to be of that. We don't have to give that negative our energy. You don't want to do that. Always focus on your creativity. Focus on what it is that you desire. And in order for you to do that, make sure that you're making a true choice first. That's the first thing. Is making a true choice. Is what you're doing, is that what you love? Because that's what a true choice is. It's what you love. And you do it because you love it. That's it. All right. Do you feel, let's see. Be uplifted by your fellow spirit warriors, beloved one, your ancestors. Feel the joy of their love and unity within you and with you. You have access to divine power that conquers any obstacle, wins every battle, and secures every victory. So no matter what these people plan and what they're doing, no matter what, you are a divine being. You are a divine God and goddess in the physical form walking around. And they are a few, and we are many. And we have our ancestors who knows us, who loves us, who guides us, who protect us. We can overcome all this stuff, y'all. We don't have to sit down and just take it. So, you know, if you want to go over this video again, what I read, so you can hear it again, let it resonate with you, within your soul, because we are soul beings, you know. And think about what I said about this universe, and this blew my mind, because it came universities. And so, and then it metamorphed into universities, and what you're learning, what you're being taught, and what the purpose of the university actually was, that coincided with what we just read. Because you are a divine being. All right, so I hope this made sense to you. I hope it resonated with you. I hope it was useful to you. This affirmation was useful for you. And I will see you guys on the next video, okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay warm. Do what you can to prepare yourself, because your physical is just as important. So you do what you can to prepare yourself for whatever's going to happen. Some of y'all live in cold places, and it's going to be very cold. And it is projected that there's going to be some power outages. So in certain places. So make sure that you're prepared for that, okay? All right, guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.